What if the people around you are showing you who you've been and who you're becoming? September 7th, 2025. The thing about growing into your 30s is recognizing that you're no longer in your naive, fresh-eyed young adult years, and that you've actually matured quite a bit. That difference isn't always noticeable until you meet people of other ages and have something to compare to. A couple weeks ago, I spent a week in Cabo with Wilson, his business partner, and golf friends and their families. Through golf, Wilson has made friends of all ages. A lot of his friends are 10 to 20 years older than us, and that's brought a lot of perspective into life as you mature. It's like we get to preview what the next chapters ahead might be like, so we can be more thoughtful about them. In this particular group, from youngest to oldest, we had 2 kids, age 9 and 13, Wilson and me, the unmarried couple in our mid-30s, the married couple with kids in their mid-40s, and a couple in their 50s who have a son who's already 25 and independent. 4 stages of life, in a way. I spent a lot of time hanging out and playing with the kids as the fun auntie. I think I'm very much still young at heart and childlike in many ways, in my hobbies and interests. I like playing and being creative. I honestly could relate so much with the kids because I feel like I had been in their shoes and I remember it so well. I also grew up in a Chinese American household where the parents spoke Chinese to the kids and the kids spoke English back to the parents. These kids were doing the same thing. So I tried to teach them little bits of Chinese in fun ways and telling them that I regret not speaking Chinese more at home when I was young because later in life I had to put more effort into studying and practicing Chinese on my own so I can improve. We sang K-pop Demon Hunters on repeat, of course, played Mario Party, which is one of my favorite games, board games, Uno, chatted about school and the tea on who they liked and didn't like. We swam and went to the water park, jumping around and going down the slides again and again, and made s'mores and ice cream shakes in the evenings. We played pickleball, had a drawing competition, and even created a silly spider character complete with his own comic on ChatGPT. I got to be a little kid again, but I also got to glimpse how it'd feel to be a mom to kids this age. I often didn't look to motherhood with excitement because I don't really find it appealing to do all of that work, all of those chores to keep a baby alive and flourishing. It looks exhausting, and I have so many friends in that stage right now, and I know it's exhausting. But I think I'd be great once they're a little bit older and can relatively do things on their own. Though I'm sure each part of the journey has its difficulties. I mean, raising little humans is just so much work. This is coming from my current self, who highly values my free time, self-care, and sleep. But through my experience with these kids, I'm also reminded of being that age and how I was feeling or what I was going through at that time. With this hindsight of adult me looking back at these younger versions of me, my heart fills with so much compassion. I remember how it felt to be 9 years old and 13 as well, to be bored at a place where you couldn't get out of because you didn't have the freedom or autonomy of making your own decisions yet, feeling stressed about school and homework or whether people would like you at school. I look at these kids and I see where they're at, their joys and their struggles, their strengths and their weaknesses, and I see that underneath it all, they are so lovable, so whole. They are perfect as they are. They are such beaming lights of potential. They're just developing, learning, and understanding this world, and the world around them is constantly shaping them. Then I think of myself at this age and all the internal, unspoken struggles I was going through, and how I couldn't see or even comprehend at the time just how perfect, how lovable, how beautiful and whole I already was. That realization brings me to tears because I didn't see it then, but as an adult looking at any kid, I see it now. without even trying. Whether you succeed or fail, whether you're happy or sad, your value is innate. It's there. It exists because you exist. That's so powerful, so beautiful.
We're at our last dinner spot right now, and I'm just exploring because this is a very beautiful hotel with a beautiful view. I'm gonna walk down to the water. I love travertine. How pretty. Wilson played golf the whole day. Ooh, so pretty.
Guys, I just finished a podcast interview with the one and only Gabby Bernstein. So she is literally one of those people that I have been following since like 2014, 2015. She really was inspiring me at the beginning of this whole personal growth, spirituality journey. And we've been trying to get her on the podcast for years now. And I'm so grateful it actually happened and we made a connection. And it's just super cool because she's literally someone that I have looked up to for over a decade. If you're OG Lavender viewers, then you remember I did something called, I don't have the space here, Liberation Kriya. It's this meditation where you're holding this pose, and we did a 40-day challenge. I remember this was maybe 2021 or something. I shared it on my channel twice. The first time is when I first did it, and then the second time I made it a challenge for all of us to do it together. Well, yeah, that I learned from Gabby. It's just really cool. You guys, we did it. We pruned Lila. I really didn't want to, but I think I had to, and I honestly should have done it much earlier. This is what she looks like now. Empty and sad, but the metaphor is you have to cut things out of your life in order to grow back stronger and more beautiful. She was getting way too tall and lanky, and I really want her to be more full. So the idea is wherever you chop, it branches. So basically the last time I pruned her was in 2020. You can see right here, there's like a little Y. Can you see the Y? That's where I last pruned her. She was like pretty tall back then too. So I pruned her. Now that plant is at my mom's house. And then I kind of liked the Y look. I liked that it grew lush. But the problem is in this house, because of the windows, it just grows a little crooked, and then she was reaching the ceiling. And so I had to cut her. But if I cut her any higher, she would branch there, and then she would just become top heavy and fall over even more. So I realized I had to branch her closer to this branch. When she starts growing, I will branch her a little bit earlier instead of waiting too long. I think that's how you create like a full look. I know. It's a sacrifice you have to make. Connecting with the other couples also gave me perspective. The women shared their reflections on their life, their choices, and their advice for me. Observing the mom and the kids gave me new perspective and empathy for my own mom, who raised my younger brother and me on her own. It's hard enough managing 2 kids of that age, but imagine how difficult it is to do that alone. It hit me towards the end of the trip how hard it must have been for my mom to raise us, not just because of the work and the responsibilities, but also to be the only adult living in that household. Like, to have no other adult to confide in or talk to or support you in any difficult moment. I realized how lonely that must have felt. That's something that I didn't ever think about because I thought my mom always had us to keep her company. But as an adult now, I get it. I see the other perspectives now. Another perspective I'm grateful for is to see how to keep a loving marriage after 3 decades. The oldest couple was also celebrating their 29th wedding anniversary. The two had met in college and then went on to build many successful businesses together over their career. And now they're retired and enjoying life in their own way, which includes spending it with people they care about. I've gotten to know this couple a little more this year through a couple trips that we've taken. They actually took me out in Shanghai when I was there because they happen to live both in Shanghai and LA. Bicontinental, another one of my dreams. They are so generous and good-hearted. I'm learning a lot by the example they set. They're an example of what it looks like to build success and abundance and then share it with those around you. It's inspiring to me. In a way, in this trip, I got to revisit my past and preview my future. And I am here, standing in my present moment. These experiences help me reflect, process old emotions, see new perspectives, and heal. They help me preview the future and manifest a beautiful, successful, abundant, and loving future because I can see what that looks like in reality. Seeing is believing. If there's anything you wish to manifest for the future, try to find real-life examples of it being possible. Once you see that something is possible for others, it shifts your mindset to believe that it's also possible for you. The more you see it, the more you believe it. So go out and find as many examples of your dreams as possible. I'm grateful that life has unexpectedly shown me new ways and new possibilities in my life, and that I get to preview and experience it myself in real time. That's such a blessing. Life is also doing the same for you if you choose to pay attention. The lessons are everywhere. The opportunities for new perspectives, mindset shifts, identity expansion are all here. They're right in front of you when you're ready for them. What's a recent perspective shift that's opened up your mind? Let me know in the comments down below. If you'd like to watch more, you can check out the Diary of Becoming series playlist linked in the card and description below. Also, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. By the way, thank you so much for your comments and love on my last video about healing my father wound. It meant so much to share that video and to read about your own healing journeys. So I'm sending you all so much love, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.